The day has finally arrived, my friends, and what a day it is. I've just spent the last 12 hours or so playing Battlefield 2042 on the early access launch day for PC, and of course I wanted to throw out a video discussing my thoughts and opinions and first impressions of what 2042 actually is like to play. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I've got a lot of other videos planned around different areas of the game, but I'm definitely going to give you my initial first impressions right now. So when I first booted up the game this morning, I really wasn't too sure about it. I didn't really enjoy the movement, and I felt they'd taken a step back from the beta, particularly around that movement style. To be honest, I do still think that as well. However, I've now unlocked more within the game that makes it feel a lot more fluid. For example, as soon as you hit level 15 and unlock McKay, your movement speed and fluidity around the map becomes so much more efficient. However, what's the caveat to this? You've got to play the game to get to level 15 in the first place. Now, I appreciate I'm making that sound like a bit of a slog, and it definitely isn't. I've had a lot of fun playing the game throughout the entirety of the day, but it did frighten me a little when I first booted up and realised the state that we were going into. To go along with the movement mechanic changes, I think the gunplay's also been changed a little bit as well. It certainly feels like the guns have a significant amount more recoil than they did in the beta, where most of the weapons in that felt like absolute lasers anywhere around the map. Probably why I was so shocked when I dropped in with the M5 straight off the rip to realise that I really couldn't control the gun and had to take a couple of rounds just to get used to it. I'm not going to complain too much about that though, because that's all part and parcel of learning a new shooter, and as players that's kind of what we sign up for. It would be far too easy just to drop into a game and have everything be an absolute laser right off the bat, and not create any kind of skill gap in terms of gunplay. To be fair, I have to commend DICE to the amount of work they've done following the beta and listening to the community on a number of areas which definitely did need to be patched up. But there's certainly a long way to go in terms of bugs, general gameplay mechanics, and awkward little things that just keep happening. I mentioned it while I was streaming today, but one of the main things that I noticed and really bugs me is the fact that you get stuck in helicopters' rocket blasts. I don't recall it being like this in Battlefield 4, a game that I put hundreds of hours into, so why would they not give you the option or the ability to get out of the way of a helicopter shooting at you? Again, I've only played the game for 12 hours, so it's very difficult for me to comment on what they need to do to improve at this stage, and there's obviously going to be a lot of work being done behind the scenes now that everyone's got their hands on it. Well, I say everyone, the real test is probably going to be on the 19th when everyone can get on it at that point. Obviously I'm going to reserve full judgment until DICE have had a little bit of time to work on the game following playtesting and everyone being involved in that. Please stay tuned for the next couple of weeks as I bring out more in-depth videos around maps, weapons, game modes, specialists, etc., giving you my real thoughts and feelings on each of these specific areas. So I hope that I can bring out some quality content that's going to be informative but also interesting for you all. I'm also now really keen to see what DICE has in the pipeline in terms of seasons and battle pass content as well. By the sounds of it, it's going to be early next year before we see any of this, but it'd be good to get an understanding of what that Golden Ultimate Edition is actually paying for, alongside the early access. But as always guys, I hope you're having a fantastic time playing 2042 as well, and let's get after it.